have to win that fight or you die trying.
Yeah.
I think that's very much the logic here.
No, I also do want to talk. Do we see any big influence from these patch changes in the bottom lane here, especially in this matchup specifically, and kind of one of the iterations where we get a tank bottom lane going into each other?
So one thing which actually affects both of these champions is so both of these champions had some of their ratios on their abilities buffed. So I think both Nautilus and Braum had maybe some AP ratios changed. I can't quite remember for Braum. I know that is the case. Stuff like the Nami and the Lulu that we still see a lot of is that when you go back to melee supports, they ward differently, they roam differently very early into the game. Someone like On getting a reset at that point, going into Fog of War, you need to pay attention to that.
I've been going in on to Zika himself, Scout trying to close, and we're just getting a 3v3 that's now about to turn into an uneven one as LNG capitalize.
They get themselves that fucking an awkward play. His hell already taken, but he's alone.
He has no teammates this time. He's in a 1v4, and he's not getting out alive. Scout gets his second kill of the game.
Yeah, so about that whole lead on Jay. Into something like Infinity Edge very, very quickly. Just gives you a large amount of burst. Just going to hold on to that thought for now. I was wondering if there was going to be a blast cone over. They spot themselves on a ward over there. I'm sure you want to walk up too far.
Elk's trying to bait them. They do get the bait onto Hung. There's the CC chain and the wall not used the right way. Blowing back. Our BLG is on, picks up a kill.
Ah, but it's not the cash in. That would have been
getting here close. Elk having used that cleanse there. LP taking some shots, but Hung coming to save the day. And the flash comes out, but you can't run away from the frail Yord as the icy grip of death hits Elk.
Oh, hero move.
Preemptive play here, though. They'll try to get onto LP. All the flashes coming out. That was a nice Glacial Fissure, though. LP getting knocked back. LP should go down to Shun. There's TPs coming in, but that's the accelerated shock blast. And that's 2 kills for Scout as the impenetrable wall of LNG. Game on the bottom side of the map. He got Dragon in a minute. And I'm sure LNG want to keep putting the pedal to the metal with Scout having 4 kills now. And we do see Scout getting that side lane tower, and that'll be first tower of the game.
He's so accelerated.
From the top laner BLG, but he's about to walk straight into a spider, and those fangs sink deep.
So do we need to just like replay the last 30 seconds? Jace strong, don't fight Jace. BLG don't get the choice though. Scout forces the issue in the side lane, and Bin on this Renekton, it was a takeaway from Zika. It was meant to hold the Sion back. It hasn't done that. You're sat at 0-3 now. BLG, problems across the map. They're really starting to stare down a very disastrous mid-game at this point.
On trying to catch out LP there. Can't do it. Now you get the unstoppable onslaught. The chain CC coming in. Scout with the big deadly blow from the side. And Tarzan gets himself a second kill.
Oh my gosh, it goes from bad to worse. You lose one person on the side lane, you push in bot lane, you roam back towards mid, Scout takes another tower. Scout is absolutely demolishing the side lanes.
Jesus Christ, man. He just is already melting turrets.
Scout. I mean, I think BLG, at that point, they kind of wince as it lands onto Nautilus, but at least it's not
going to find
Raven,
LP.
right?
Oh,
I'm going to try and find him, but again, it's like, even if they found LP at that point, you realize that it could just be a flash stand.
Second, but maybe this is the capitalization BLG needed. You get a depth charge onto Scout. The blade or whirling death goes wide. Oh, he gets the cash in. Elk gets money. We actually got a little bit of something for BLG as they're trying to get a little bit more. Yagao gets a big push back for Scout, but Scout slams the hammer down and gets one back and forth. LNG, it's a trade of 2 for 3, but Dragon here, but they're finding the engage. Glacial Fissure, Yagao, they're looking for revenge here as they had gotten caught out a little bit. Now Elk is the one that gets dragged down, and LNG is just under tower here. There's not much for BLG to say.
No.
To the Dragon.
It reminds me of previous metas where you used to see a lot more poke compositions where you just hear the audience just like that intake of breath that winces. Just like, there is a physical, visceral reaction to seeing one of those shot blasts lands a Scout. Yeah,
there's about to be a physical reaction in terms of maybe should going down. He does have the rest of the time. No! Oh! Ah! We get the reactions here. Scout able to. Terran Crystal Arrow comes out. Yagao takes a big chunk of damage. Bin, he goes in to tank the team, but he has to immediately turn tail. Yagao with a big push, but he's immediately thirsted down as Elk gets one back, but he's out of the fight as well. And LNG, they should just turn back to control this game.
LNG is objective for free, and they just keep turning Shun. finally back out on the map, so maybe LNG not willing to start it up while the smite is available. But LNG, they're more than happy to just keep running this play back. They yeah, but he's not here for the fight now, so good luck without the fight.
The team is already getting engaged on. Bin's tanking. Shun can come over the wall. Bin's already down, though. I don't think that means anybody from BLG wants to take that fight.
This is just the same play. BLG cannot afford to let lights go dark in that area of the map. Cocoon just about missing. But LNG, they're on the sole point. They keep forcing BLG towards this Baron pit. Scout, whenever he gets a free opportunity to hit anyone with that champions or turrets, they...
By LNG, they're TPing actually behind as well. Zika is coming. He doesn't have the unstoppable onslaught, but he has Scout right there. Shun's honestly using Zika to try to get out of this one, and he does, but no! The sniper shot from Scout!
In any other world, Jace would not item. Nearly 28 minutes into this game. This will finally be the dragon, the Baron going down, which is in time for them to reset, to get back out onto the map, to get an Infernal Soul Dragon.
It is. Nightmare, I gotta talk about this as well, because it isn't for the lack of trying for BLG. Yagao, he's 1-1-2. His opposing mid laner is 9-1-3, and we've seen Scout Tart
bot lane push as well. At least Ben is looking for a cross map on the other side, but you can't afford to get caught out here.
Even just the one shock blast, Yagao has to get away. The repel did come out from Tarzan. And another shock blast blocked by On. You've got Ben taking a tier 2 in the top side, but On just keeps tanking these shots, and Zika's pushing mid lane now.
Pushing them up, but without the Renekton, what can you really do in an uneven numbers fight? You're outgunned, you're outranged, you're outnumbered, you're losing your inhibitors. BLG, what's your answer here?
They're trying to find it. They're doing...
Scout just gets to walk over, doesn't even have to use his teleport himself. Dragon is live, Cyanol is cast.
Here comes the unstoppable onslaught, and it's just that from LNG. They are relentless, they are brutal, and they are eviscerating BLG.
We have seen some very dominant early games today. Saw some from JDG earlier on. Another kill leads LNG on their march towards this Nexus.
One auto attack does so much from Scout against these turrets, and it was a bar of execution that BLG could not rise to the occasion for. And game one goes whole-handedly to LNG, and so far BLG have nothing to say.
Left to be played here in this split and today.
Oh, there's the flash. That's going to be cleanses used on both sides. Who's going down first? LP, you got to be careful. Oh, no! BLG! They get the first blood, and that's huge. Maybe they can try to kill. Maybe need to call a friend, as that will not be the kill going over. One more auto attack needed. Tarzan capitalizing on Yagao, and LNG are on the board.
Tarzan to the rescue. Scout flashes away with a sliver of HP over the wall. This could be both junglers trying to outread each other. They're going for the Hex Flash.
Shun's walking away though, and now Tarzan's here first. On! He's going down, and LP's cashing in. The adoration from LNG overfloweth, and Shun is trying to stop the re-engage. They get one back, but it's the bottom lane that has paid the price. And double kill for LP.
It's who's going to look for a kick turnaround, but afraid of maybe that dash.
Oh, they're going in. Look
in.
how much damage On is taking from LP. Another one bites the dust, and LP's axes are looking for blood. Flash kill, another double, and it's off to the races for the killing.
Oh, call him, just take the L out of his name at this point. He's handed it to Elk and On for another time. 4 kills on the Draven. Last game, it was Scout's turn to do the carrying, but the Draven's online. LP is here to play.
Taking the Draven that Elk tried to pull off last game, and they are...
There's no damage build up for Bin just yet. Just has those Merc Treads, and Shun, once again, trying to find his way into the game. Really struggled to really make the game-changing plays. LNG have done that largely through lane. Shun has to do it through the jungle. Scout's coming up towards
Scout's
top
on
side.
his way, though. This is a big difference maker. Ben trying to bait it out. There's the cease and desist from Shun. They're under tower. They can get Zika, but it is Ben that doesn't get traded back. That's actually... They're like, we're going to catch him. Oh, no. But an engage goes on to On. They're flashing from LP, and On's health bar just doesn't exist anymore. More adoration stacks and more love and more gold. And Elk has to flash away from LNG's bot lane while a TP gets pulled as well. Yagao, he's trying to make the gap close here. He can't get the knockback, but they get hung, and he does end up getting the toss as 2 kills go to the BLG mid laner.
Yagao is trying as hard as he can to make something of this game. Shun finds Zika alone in this top side.
Nice little damage here. Beautifully executed from Shun, and that's a solo bolo.
It's a solo kill, and suddenly all of this early gold, which is built up.
Oh, we're getting more. That's a kick ready to go and executed on our LNG's dive bot side. Final spark does come through. God, we just go from one end to the other here. It does not stop at Yagao. Finding out Hung here. Nice little knockback, and Hung is gone. The depth charge does get used, but LP and Tarzan have to run away. I don't know if they can. Yeah, chase down, double counter strike. Nice blast cone. Will actually get one of LNG out, but it is the bot lane that has been sacrificed.
Go away. He wants you to go to a game 3. BLG, team that's got very even game score. They've given as good as taken against everyone in the league so far.
The fact that we talked so much about mid jungle in this one, and game 1 was
made. Elk has.
Oh my God! Nice. Oh, it goes golden. Hung, you got to try to do something here if he can save him, but the headshot's too big. Elk, you're gonna go down to Timbers. Woo! That was so close. That was an angry bear. Here comes the P coming in from Zika on a flank. Tarzan is coming. Timbers has been popped. Zika, a big game-changing moment. On sacrifices himself for the rest of the team.
Yagao's flash gone, On's life gone, and they don't find the play in the...
Caught under tower, though. He will flash. TP's now coming back in from both, and we just do not stop fighting. As Ben with the double counter, he has to get out. Hung has fallen to Elk, and now LP getting shot in the back of the head here by Elk, who now...
Jeep. They lost that first play in the top side, but then they realized, hang on, they can't do that again. They don't have another teleport on Zika. He's just used it. He can't turn up to the play. They make their own counter punch in the mid lane. Importantly so, again, BLG, the way they stay in this game is by punching back on LNG after they've made the big play, or just stop the big play from happening in the first place.
Oh, Elk. Oh, no, Elk, though. You cannot get caught out like that.
You cannot be caught slacking for a moment in this game.
To find that big connection. Shun not able to get the fault breaker into the pit. 2,000 health, but there they go into the fight. Nice cease and desist. Tarzan's back. He's dead. Final spark comes out, but a big slicing maelstrom on the back line. And Zika, he is not enough just yet because Ben will not let this one go. And Yagao, he's the one left, but he does not have a saving grace to his name, as one more ability would seal the deal. You've got the ace in the hole from Elk from behind, but it's not enough. A double kill for LNG. It's only here, but they won't contest this dragon. They are fine leaving these situations to big pickouts unless you can get a steal.
A worthwhile attempt. Worthwhile attempt indeed. So after all that gold was picked up, though,
doing it again. They want to find On. He doesn't get locked down, but Tarzan hasn't found exactly what he's looking for. Re-engage from Shun. The slicing maelstrom. It's on to one. Final spark across the backline. Ben gets a double counter strike at BLG. They look like they're trying to fight back, but nice flash over the wall from Scout. They get a little bit of damage from Yagao. Yagao is trying to bring them back from the brink, but can he do it? Scout is gone, and Yagao picks up a double kill, and Tarzan goes down too. He is the Spider-Man that is holding together.
Backline, Yagao firing through. Enough of these cues, threaded volleys to get anything. That's the volley. That's the ult from... It's gone already. It's gone already. The way the observers did that, I wondering if it's going to come back for something more, but BLG, somehow LP can't clean up house.
All I'm saying is we got to get Yagao into like a rock skipping contest at this point. This man was just pelting people with those things, and now BLG are feeling confident to move forward with this comp they have, and they have the catch-out tools.
Shun in the enemy jungle, as he's seen, manages to queue out. But now we're at a point where gold is in BLG's face. He can't walk up and get himself
the biggest thing for me, though, is that both teams have such high-end burst potential. Like, literally one mistake for both sides mean a team.
1-4. Ben doesn't have the teleport right now, though. And we're getting to the point where Zika's going to have Flash Ultimate again on the cannon. That's very important to notice. Lots of flashes coming up for LNG. You're not going to have scouts. That's important to know, but BLG...
Block off fight. He waited for the minion wave to go by. He will be sneaking into the backside of BLG.
Oh,
this
Zika.
is big.
Has he done it?
He's done it. He's found the angle. They've got to go in. They've got to capitalize. They have gotten out, but he gets the dash. The 90 caliber net out, and now LNG, they're in some trouble. You got to look back, though. LP flashing for the kills. He's dodging out. He has the moves. He has the flexibility. And LNG, they're getting turned around on here, but they're trying to find a front to back that doesn't exist in their eyes. Shun has come back to Scout. LP, they don't have much left. He's trying to get some damage on the Scout, but now the counter-strike, the shield bow, it's not enough weight. He goes down, Scout. He can't find the damage. Can he get Yagao? But he gets bursted out, and that's an ace for BLG.
That is absolutely insane from BLG. How?
Zika will have TP soon, but he doesn't have it now, and Bin has already collapsed, and now it's a 4v5. LNG got to fight their way out of this one, but there ain't no fighting tonight. The Everfrost comes through clutch. Tibbers comes back in desperation, but LNG will be left for naught, and a double kill for Elk.
LNG, they've tried to thread the needle, but it is just a combo of LNG, and after how dominant the first game was, BLG, this is a breath of fresh air, particularly Shun. Found it so hard to impact the first game. Same with Yagao. This mid-jungle duo, though, going back 9-1 and 6. 6 it does, but it's a long way off. And remember, BLG, they managed to survive one of these flank TPs already just by splitting, allowing Bin to go forwards and buy space with Shun. Zika's on vision right now. He has to clear out these waves. Baron buff still very much in full fruition from BLG. Shun charging up the Q, maybe looking for an engage, forcing terms on their own ground.
There's a Weaver's Wall coming across. There should be another inhib tower down. See if they can utilize
teleport.
this.
Here we
Min
go.
in third. Yep, they got Yagao, though, bodying him right now. And Zika, he can't really find an in. He's trying to figure out where to use it. But they've already gotten Shun on the other side. Now big slicing Maelstrom, but it is all for naught. And the storm has come for LNG as their health bars cannot stay in the fight. We said it's rated sideways, but it's rating all Billy Gaming. A triple kill, and BLG put the finishing touches on game number 2.
An absurd team fighting performance from BLG brings us back to even. We're going the distance in our second series of the day. Bring on game 3.
We won't go to the most kills in LP. A little bit more back. You have the Prey Seeker there as well. Try to get those stacks up for the Void. Oh no, stop playing.
Oh,
Zika, Shun! He takes the extra shot. Luckily, Bin gets first blood, but it was V close.
Play just after this. Empress Divide just coming up off a cooldown. Both
Level
these teams
6
have a
for
lot of
Hung.
ultimates to fight.
Yeah, they might be able to get the pushback though. Yagao gets a little bit more damage. Shun able to get a kill back. Now you got Scout flashing out, having to use those shifting sands to get.
He doesn't have flash from earlier, and he's dead.
In the picture-in-picture, Hung got really mad that he went down without using his ulti, and I think Yagao, he does end up going down. It goes to Scout, but Hung came right back with a vengeance.
Oh, close runs.
On the other side, though, BLG securing their first dragon of the game here, just about 11 minutes in. Will be contested there, and something to write at least to the later part of the game for BLG.
Something to keep an eye on as well. Something that being left alone to their own devices, this is why I was saying earlier, in an even laning phase, normally you value Azeri more than most AD carries. Kai'Sa, I think, is an exception to that, particularly with the new patch. Heading towards something like a Navori and then into third item spikes as well. Haven't quite easily found that so far.
I love how confident On has been on this Rakan here. It will just be that second dragon going over to BLG, but he has been maybe even bluffing a lot of this. Cut the grain entrance out of there.
Retreat from this.
Elk is here. We got TP coming down. They need to get in on that time. He can't get caught out like that. And BLG flashing over the walls here. Scout goes for it, gets the pushback on a Shun, and the counter-strike comes through. Zika gets the kill. And BLG pushed back on by LNG.
That's too much responsibility for me to back. Get that out of my infantry. Puts it in towards this mid lane, and it will be a mid lane turret. That's important. That allows LNG to get vision deeper into the enemy jungle. They really high roll off this play. They get the fight, they get the mid lane turret out of that Herald, and that's going to be very important for late game. Once you get that mid lane out of turret down, very easy to kind of get yourself the
Oh,
vision you need. Bin flashed in front of
really good flash from Bin, and that's a solo kill to the top laner of Billy.
Gets himself some Shuriman fried chicken.
On in a little bit of trouble here. Gets the engage onto Hung. Hung getting low, but he goes golden. Zika has now found Yagao. He's trying to get in range for the counter-strike. Shun has gotten one kill, but lightning crash from LP. And they're finding a little bit of shots. Shun dragged back again by Scout.
LNG moving in force, getting all 5 people to the play. LP still going, has the ult running, but by the time this play happens, Scout goes to TP back. You haven't made this play in the correct kind of time zone, and because of the way the terrain is kind of working here, Elk doesn't want to fly into the middle of this fight. Maybe you can stack up lethal tempo at the side, you feel more happy about it, but as you see even in the fight before that, Scout threatening Elk on the side of things, and Elk actually built...
Find an engage, they can maybe find a fight, as all tools are available except for that Shurima shuffle.
LNG not looking for the engage.
They get the knockback on. They get the dragon and they catch out Hung. They're going forward now as well. Cease and desist used out of the backline. LP. He pops that lightning crash. Ultra shock laser across 3 members. And it's a front to back now. Shun tries to go in. They're back and forth and back and forth. But LP, the lightning is starting to trickle in. And the LNG thunder starting to brew.
LNG, they call
it against BLG. Can they make it in? Can they make a miracle happen here? Braceseeker just too early and Bin can't contest.
Oh, that is such a heartbreaking moment from BLG. You thought they were...
Style for LNG for this last game, and they're finding a lot of advantages with it, even though it's only that 2,000 gold lead. Now, it was that sole point for BLG, and they'll be looking for a little bit more of that stacking objective advantage.
Shun charging up that Q. Up front to back from Elk in this kind of play. Has the ultimate at rank 2, can fly into this.
Nice re-engage though. Yagao gets a decent amount of damage back, but Shun, he has to flash out. Bin, he's a little bit low. Killer instinct from Elk. He gets the backline. He's got to get help. He needs to get the rest of his team, but there's nobody left to help him. And LP's flashing over the wall with his flashy plays, but it's not enough for BLG to get anything back.
Counter-strike, but it's not enough. He doesn't have a stopwatch at that point. He didn't have a flash. Scout cleans up house with the Emperor's Divide after that point. And BLG, it feels like they really hand that fight over. It was...
If LNG just want to kind of bait this out as Zika's pushing in mid lane.
Waiting maybe for the next scout of the week. Looking if Yagao can find a stun somewhere. How quickly can they get that?
This is going to have to be a miracle steal or a turnaround from LNG. Nice knockback on the Hung, but that might not be the member you need. The big lightning crash back, and they've already lost on. This is an easy pickup of the Baron for LNG.
And can they finally finish? Can they finally get the clean fight?
Ben wants to come over. Scout of the week is there. Yagao trying to get some damage down. Shun out of the pit there. It is now the fight afterwards. They've got Ben on the back, but Elk is left out. He flashes. He's over the wall with the killer instinct. They actually might be able to turn this if Elk can kite down, but it's too little. Ben, he got the grand challenge off. He's going back in. He goes down to Scout, and Elk doesn't end up joining the fight. He's going to hold him. Wait. He gets the 2v1. He gets poked down there. The Leandry started to do some work. He's trying to heal a little bit more. Elk, you are the last saving grace. He cannot do it. He gets taken out. The spear to the heart from Scout.
And who else standing at the end but LNG's mid-jungle, one of the very best in the league. Scout finding another pick.
Beautiful stuff, and they lay down for an alley-oop. And as you said, Scout and Tarzan, they truly are heads above the rest of this league.
Somewhere, but the damage in this late game scenario, so high, so hard for any of these characters to really get a clean up.
About 5.
If they do go down, which means that BLG, who often would like to be playing around the first pick, if Syndra gets an opportunistic play, if Elk manages to get an opportunistic ultimate into the backline, it gets that much harder. LNG taking no chances, wanting to stay at the top of the table.
Wanting to improve to 7-1 here and get ready for their tough tests that lie ahead of them. They have now taken 2 2-0s back-to-back and now looking for a 2-1 over BLG. 3 wins in a row sets you up very nicely for the end of the season here for LNG as we are in the 6th week. But LNG is
the big gold lead. When you're 35 minutes into the game, doesn't really mean as much. the damage is already there in a lot of places, right? It's more about how your champions interact with each other, unless you're insanely far ahead or behind.
So you were correct.
Realistically,
oh my god, Yagao having a flash there on might just get caught out. Is the tower that is the focus for LNG though, and they'll burn down the second tier.
That was a bit of a freebie. Nothing left on the map. I think BLG just understand regarding the dragons for BLG. It's the worst soul in the game, so no one really cares if you take that. They would have actually liked for LNG to take the dragons at this point, because if they had taken the soul, at least you can flip around Elder. Maybe you could get a Miracle Steal on Elder and then start finishing off some of these kills, which they've really struggled to after this point.
Ooh,
they don't get that point. They're now starting looking at LNG, who's got lots.
Is on the side. You gotta watch Elk. Bin gets his GA pop now. Elk getting burned down. They're gonna leave Bin out, and he can't have any help from his team. And now it's a 4v5 in favor of LNG.
LNG, they pull the trigger to get them. LP is running the damage show alongside Scout. Now BLG, they have to fight from a numbers disadvantage.
They're going to go in double counter strike from Zika. And LNG, they pounce on BLG. Can they find Elk though? He's able to count a little bit more. LG, and they actually put up a little contest. Literally, this is Elk trying to make it happen. Yagao gets engaged. Elk is on the back line. Yagao is down, and Elk is the only one left. He gets pushed down, and his GA will not save him today. You better be calling some kind of angel, because BLG will go down yet again.
The Angels on Angie. It was a rocky early game in this one, but they have seen themselves through the tough tides of this series. Losing game 2, BLG asking questions, but they answer resoundingly with their mid-game in game 3 and see themselves to 7-1.
Bin trying to make something happen here with On, but it's a last-ditch effort for a paltry prize. As an 8-1-9 Scout, a 6-1-11 LP, and a 4-0-14 Tarzan cement their lead in the LPL and cement their devastation of BLG. Shun's just trying to make something happen here. On is by time proxying the wave, but it's all for naught.
Well, I mean, On has done a bit of a Marin.
Even with some of the scaling factors coming into fruition here for BLG, some of the items for Yagao specifically, it's not nearly going to be enough, it feels like, from the oppression that LNG are putting out.
So BLG, force BLG away from the Dragon. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, I feel like they could just let BLG fight them and just beat them. I think they win in all these fights right now by playing this kind of macro runabout, denying BLG the fight. I just wonder if they should be trying to play this out instead.
I love the zeros across the board.
This is actually pretty big now, because you have 3 champions. There's value at this point. It's just more stats that BLG have to worry about. It's the last this Baron buff comes into push it.
Desperation here. BLG want to find a flank, but they've already lost Yagao as the hammer comes down for LNG. They might lose one back. There's a little bit of pushback, but BLG, they push once, and LNG kicks straight through their face. There's a double kill for LP, and this is a game win, a series win for LNG. They over to 7.
That was the last chapter to be written. Took him a couple of attempts at the Nexus. An epilogue, if you will, but it is still the same ending we expected after that mid-game 3.